very good run here. Now we come up on a boat who is burning up the racetrack. D111, the 32-foot skater that they call Chin Chin. This boat is sponsored by Serenos Marine out of Milford, Connecticut, and today it is driven by Fred Altschuler and throttled by Tony Caligieri from the Ocean Outboard Racing staff and team. Boat looking very hot and strong right now. Chin Chin, who's dueling it out with Star Chaser and Apollo 2. Lady L, Tony Licari's Lady L in the top of your picture. On the inside, can't quite see, but that's Snakebite, A71, who you saw earlier. Lady L on the outside, Snakebite on the inside, but Chin Chin, who is running very strong right now. Speeds in well of excess of 80 miles per hour and more at certain times. This boat is capable of speeds over 90 miles per hour and looks very good. Rare breed, that white boat you saw on the outside. Chin Chin just passing many of the competitors right now. We're getting to the closing stages of the races, so a strong finish is what's required here. After they've done so many miles, they just know how much is left, and if the boat is holding up well, they go all out, which Chin Chin is doing right now. A little rough riding right there, but no problem for this team. This boat looks very slick. Attitude is fine. First blood on the outside, that red, exciting boat, but Chin Chin is too tough for everyone right here. They're holding off Star Chaser and Apollo 2, who's just basically running a good race to finish. But Star Chaser and Chin Chin are going all out. And with this skater, it has a lot of technology behind it. Nick Sereno of Serenos Marine is a dealer for skater boats out of Milford, and they bring it all together with a skater hull. Oh, look at that skater hull. Take that one. The throttling being done with these Merc outboards, and it's a good overall package. D111, the Chin Chin race team, in today's race out of mamaroneck, New York. Chin Chin going past Double Vision. We're going to pick up Double Vision and stay with them. This boat numbered C6, known as Double Vision, is a 30-foot white and blue Sanger Alley cat. It is powered by two 300 horsepower Evolution Marine engines. Very strong engines right here. And the sponsorship has been lent by Future Development Corporation, and a great deal of help and assistance has been put up by Dollar Marine Services out of North Miami, Florida. They sell boats, used as well as new, and they've done a great job in helping out the Double Vision race team. This team is headed up by Bob Catanzaro, your driver, and you've got Rick Conti on throttles. The Double Vision race team, a good-looking boat with some new owners, and they're looking very strong right here. Those V-Evolution Marine motors sound very strong. Double Vision doing their thing right now out here for the NPBA. Vision, maintaining a good average speed right now, about 60 to 65 miles per hour. Look at the engine cover blow off on that wave right there, and that's American Spirit going by strongly on the outside, really charging hard. Double Vision slightly slowing up right now. Not sure if they're fully aware that they've lost their engine cover. They seem to be stopping in the water, haven't looked back, noticing the engine cover, a little smoke there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Hope it's nothing serious. B2, the red and white boat, known as Double Trouble. Listen to those throttles being done right now by Dan Richmond, really doing a fine job. This 26-foot Magnum is powered by twin small block Chevys with 350 cubic inch apiece, producing 400 horsepower each per motor. That's 800 horsepower total, and this Double Trouble race team is filled with a lot of power right now in trouble. This boat is owned by Dan Richmond, who is also doing the throttlings that you're hearing right now. Driving is Tom Coughlin, and Joel Richmond is a navigator. That's Dan's son. He brought his son out, Joel, for navigation, and his family's doing a great job out here. Dan Richmond Company is the owner of Plymouth Marine in Plymouth, Mass., and Tom Colgan is your engine builder. That's Coughlin Machine in Dedham, Massachusetts. So they've brought it all together here with quite a bit of technology. Plymouth Marine and Coughlin Marine with the engine builder, producing Double Trouble race team, and they're doing a great job. That's A21 that they're going by on the outside, and Bad Boys on the far outside. Bad Boys and A21 dueling it out in A-class, neck and neck, super racing in A-class, but we're staying with B2 Double Trouble. That boat of Richmond having a very good run. Competition is tough with Fever, Finish Line, and Stoneham, so we'll just have to wait and see what the Double Trouble race team can do out here in B-class. We wish them all the best, the Double Trouble race team. Trouble running very strong, and right there you see our third helicopter shooting stills. That's Angel 3 of the Freeze Frame Video Force, with Glenn LaPercy and Greg Girardi aboard shooting stills. But we're staying with Camera 1 and Double Trouble. Angel 3 on the other side of that boat, taking some exciting sighting stills right now. Multiple coverage, video as well as stills. Freeze frame video at its best. And now we're coming up with another boat, the exciting B-88, which is a 32-foot Tempest known as Rare Breed. There you see them, the Rare Breed race team. Bit of throttling going on right here, trying to pick up as much speed as they can. With that copter out of our way now, we can move right in on B-88 Rare Breed. This boat is owned and driven by Bill Guilford, and he's got Susan Gifford along to the right. The Giffords, and known as the Rare Breed race team, Bill and Susan, doing a fine job pulling their talents together and resources to come out here and race week after week in this 32-foot Tempest known as Rare Breed, and these two really are a rare breed. The husband-wife team coming out here doing a good bit of racing and putting together the Rare Breed race team. Little choppy right here, coming in and out of the water, having a bit of a rough ride. but making fairly good headway, as you can see. The Rare Breed race team headed up by the Giffords. And to bring you updated unofficially on some other classes, Air Ride and Topaz are dueling it out in C class, and Fever, Finish Line, Stone and Boat Center all going head-to-head in B. And A21, No Problem, Bad Boys are really going at it in A. Very competitive racing right now, and we're having a great time bringing it to you. Super racing on the NPBA. Nothing but the best. And here you have Killer Bees on the inside and First Blood on the outside. But we're going to stay with C18, Killer Bees. It's a 24-foot black skater, and it is sponsored by Performance Marine out of Bolton Landing, New York. This boat is powered by a single, now actually it's got two outboard motors right there. The Yamaha outboard, also making a move on the high-performance race scene. Look at this boat go, and listen to those Yamahas do their thing with a throttle man. This boat is throttled by Jim Denoyer Jr., and it is being driven by Tom Denoyer. Tom and Jim Denoyer doing a great job out here in the Killer Bees race team. Speeds well over 60 to 65 miles per hour. Little rough conditions for this boat, but they're making good time regardless. C18, the Killer Bees race team, having a very good run. All types of boats, all levels of competition in the NPBA, and the Killer Bees fit right into the tough competition of C class. The Killer Bees race team. That's Rich Tripoli's Shockwave on the outside of Killer Bees, top of your screen. Killer Bees having a rough ride, Shockwave's going right through it. Bigger boat nonetheless. Shockwave, who you see in the top of your picture right here, maintaining a relatively light average speed. No need to go out strong. He needs at least I think a sixth place finisher better to take the overall points in Class B. So they're just going to go out and have a safe run. Shockwave knows just what has to be done. They've had a good year, and they're certainly not going to do anything silly in the final race. They want to prove that they're for real, and they certainly are. So a sixth place or better finish here today will make them champs in B class. But nonetheless, in C class, Killer Bees are going all out. Yamaha Motors having a good performance record as the years go on. Skaters are here for real, a proven hull, many championships behind this hull, and this manufacturer of boats, the Skater, and these two are going to be very formidable next year also. C18, the Killer Bees race team. First Blood in the middle of your picture. Shockwave on the outside, First Blood on the inside. First Blood, that's D15, the 32-foot Hydrotech powered by 3 Mercury outboards. This boat is throttled by Mark Tangus. It is driven by Doc Sanfilippo, and Bill Hodge is your navigator. The Hydrotech hull is distributed by Kurtz Marine in New Jersey. This is the first Hydrotech hull built, and it seems to be doing very well in the campaign. You look at those 3 Mercs putting out all that power. The way it looked from that up-close picture, you see the middle motor seems to be down. The port motor, excuse me, that's the port motor seems to be down right now. So although it has 3 out there, it's running on 2 and doing quite well at that. So D15, the First Blood race team, in its new Hydrotech, is looking to have a good finish here today. A good finish here today will certainly put them in the points, and they're trying to have a fine run. D-Class is very tough, so we're just going to have to wait and see. This is the Hydrotech boat, D15, known as First Blood. A56, the 24-foot superboat with a single Merc outboard on the back, known as Warrior. This boat being driven by Ralph today is looking very competitive. A-Class, too close to call. However, Deuces Are Wild, A21, Bad Boys you saw earlier on, really dueling it out. And Warrior is really trying to get up there, as you can see, literally getting up in the air, but also trying to move up on the leaders in his class. He's having some rough going right here. The seas are kicking up as the race progresses, and Warrior is doing the best he can to move through it. It's 24-foot superboat known as Warrior, trying to close the gap between himself and the leaders. We wish him all the best, the Warrior race team. D40 hydro hoist. This sleek, all-white 30-foot Chris craft is powered by 3 2.4 Mercury outboards. This boat is owned and throttled by Doug Carmen from Freeport, New York. It is being driven by Ed Rickmetz, and he's got Ed Riley along as the navigator today. This boat was rigged by W&D Marine, who've done a fine job, and they are also the exclusive hydro hoist dealer in New York. That's W&D Marine. Doug Carmen from Freeport, New York has put together a very good boat with a very good crew. This boat known as hydro hoist is looking very sleek, as you can see. Good bit of throttling, good bit of action right here. Boat seems very well in the water. The crew is very comfortable, and they're having a very good run at that. That's the boat known as hydro hoist. D40 with a freeze frame video camera number 1, who's doing a fine job with Philadamo in it. A71 snakebite on the inside, Adamo staying with hydro hoist. There you get a good idea of what we can give you with 2 cameras. You've got 2 choppers on 2 different boats, 2 different viewings. It's just limitless what we hope to be doing at freeze frame as the years go on. So right here we're going to stay with hydro hoist, and we're certainly coming to a close of the race. Many results will be coming in for today's race, as well as the final point standings for the 87 campaign. We're going to bring it home for a little while here with hydro hoist, and we will look for some other boats out on the race course before it closes out in Mamaroneck. D40, the hydro hoist race team. Hydro hoist having a very nice run. Going by bad boys right there on the inside. And here we come to a former champion, HMS Dia-1. This is a 31-foot black and gray Excalibur with 3 Mercury outboard engines. This boat is sponsored by Bruce Park Sports of Norwalk, Connecticut, who have done a great job for Dia and her crew. This boat is owned and driven by John McKenzie of Norwalk, Connecticut, who is also the owner of Bruce Park Sports in Norwalk. And you've got the Buckleys, that familiar tandem of Frank Buckley on throttles and Dia Buckley, your navigator. A new driver, familiar crew with the Buckleys, and that same boat that has brought many thrills to all the race fans throughout the country, and including the NPBA. Who could forget those classic tools with freeze frame video and HMS Dia-1 taken by Jeff Girardi? Some exciting racing that will go down in the NPBA sports history books. That was a very good year, but she is a true champion, and she is still out in the course. Dia Buckley and Frank have done a great job with HMS Dia-1, and now with some renewed interest provided by John McKenzie, we're looking forward to a good season to finish up with them, and we certainly hope they get the bug and come back out in '88. The HMS Dia-1 crew, we wish them all the best. going to do it for today. And we certainly look forward to seeing you all down in Key West, Florida.